searching for euphoria, judging through the mud to find the present, no ignoring us. Got 20,000 deep up in the street like we some warriors. My mama told me never bow your head.
I feel glorious, glorious. Got a chance to start again. I was born for this, born for this. It's who I am. How could I forget? I made it through the darkest part of the night, and now I see the sunrise. Now I feel glorious, glorious. I feel glorious, glorious.
I'm feeling glorious. The crib looking victorious. Oh yes it is. You know that we've been going it. Since we hopped out that DeLorean. Yeah, we went.
Welcome into Purple and Gold Talk, brought to you by the In Off the Bench podcast. My name is Jim Cross. I'm joined as always by the Ava Garza. Ava, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm really, really glad that I didn't wear that striped shirt because I didn't realize that I was wearing that. So I'm feeling very, very lucky that I am in fact repping LSU today.
Well, speaking of shirts, got a shout out to our sponsors, starting with Jesus One Apparel, John 16:33, empowering young men and women to be bold in their faith, and of course, Chinook Cedary, 8 flavors, mild to wild, the best in the game. But we got to get to our episode. CJ, how we doing, man?
Man, doing awesome. It's been a blessed night, man.
Yeah, you're just talking about coming off church, but I wanted to ask you, been talking to the students at FCA lately. I see things are moving at LSU at the FCA, and you got a chance to speak, man. How'd that go?
Yeah, it was awesome. I got a chance to give my testimony, but honestly, it was a moment again where you pray and the Spirit takes over. So I was hoping that I was able to deliver a message that was useful, but it was very good.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you as a football player, man. Obviously talking about Jesus One, you see what's been happening the last couple of seasons at Ohio State, man. Just how much fun has it been to see, college football teams around the country, man, just leaning more and more into Jesus and being open in their faith?
Man, it's very cool to see because it's honestly such a big platform that I don't think is given enough credit for what can be done with it. Because a lot of people watch college football, and a lot of people watch it just because they like it and they think it's fun. But because they're watching, they have eyes on whatever you are doing, whatever you were showing. Like, there's eyes on you. So to take the opportunity, especially, man, hats off to Ohio State, take the opportunity to give praise and glory to the Lord is like, it's taking a gift that God has given you and then pointing it back to him. So I think that they've done a very excellent job, and it is very admirable. And I would love and hope to see the same things happening here with as big a platform we have to do the same for
my
our God.
my partner and boss was there, and he said it was just football players leading the charge, man. So hey, go out there, get a group and do it. It can happen at LSU also.
Oh yeah, for sure. God's timing. We're working on building a foundation. I definitely trust he'll make it happen.
All right, CJ, I get to do all of the fun intro questions. So where are you from?
I'm from Nashville, Tennessee.
So if I was going to visit Nashville, which I haven't, fun fact, Jim, what's one thing that I absolutely have to do?
In Nashville, I don't know. It depends on what you like. Like, they got downtown and they got the country music and the hot chicken, but they also have like the surrounding areas. They got like a nice little bougie mall. It really depends on like what side of things you're on. You can go to a trampoline park. Like, it truly depends. But they got a lot of diverse options. So I don't really know. I don't know if you're into country music. Maybe that'll be a thing. Go to a concert or what. But
Jim always asks, where's the food place that you're sending us to? Like, what do we
food
have?
place. Honestly, I would say something chill. There was this place called Baja Burrito that was very close to my school. It wasn't downtown or on Broadway or anything. It was kind of off to the side, but it's literally just like a Subway burrito place. It's kind of the typical burrito feel place, but it got some culture to it. So I don't think it's very popular or well known, but I would definitely suggest a Baja Burrito.
I'll tell you this, Ava. As somebody who's from Memphis, like Nashville's too uppity for me. It ain't make me. I'm from the streets, but no, I actually went there recently, and it wasn't to listen to country. CJ, I went and saw Forrest Frank's concert there. So I went to Nashville, but it wasn't for country. That's not really my vibe. It might be Ava's.
Yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't mind either. Like I didn't go to too much. I don't think I've been to a concert at all in Nashville. So it depends on what you like.
Okay, so who was your biggest influence in football growing up?
My biggest influence in football growing up. Um, Honestly, when I was young, I really did. I didn't watch too much. I didn't watch too much football. Like I didn't watch too much college football. I would watch clips here and there. OBJ for a long time. Odell Beckham. Just for all the kids in my school. Like we didn't say you got Moss. We said you got Odell. So he was a big influence. I didn't even play receiver at the time, but I'll definitely say Odell Beckham just for the fun, the culture that he brought to our childhood. And then probably as I got older and as I started to watch more ball, probably another just LSU guy. This is not like look at LSU, but Derek Stingley. Like I really liked the way that he played, and he kind of like because I started off playing corner, so I was kind of the guy I watched. Was like, yeah, I want that swag. I want to play like that. And probably them too.
Ava's from Houston. She's very familiar with Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Very
Oh my goodness,
familiar.
that young man is crazy.
So, probably the hardest question that you're going to answer this entire interview. Who is your all-time favorite athlete?
All-time favorite athlete,
Mm-hmm.
like from any sport.
Any.
Dang, this might be the easiest one. LeBron, the GOAT,
The
King, whatever you want to call him. You can put
worst
an
answer.
LE and put whatever. The
This
best of
show
all time.
started on Michael Jordan, CJ. We can't be having
LeBron. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to debate the two because at the end of the day, they played at different times, but at the same time, LeBron better. So I think that was an easy question. I hope that wasn't the hardest one.
Let me tell you, CJ, give me Kobe over LeBron. That's all I'm saying.
Kobe over LeBron. That's probably the
great.
most ridiculous thing I've heard in the past 18 years of my life. But that's okay. Bro, LeBron, hey, shout out LeBron. He does his thing. People don't give him his credit, but that's okay. LeBron,
so here's the question I got for you. Being that you are LeBron guy, can you yourself hoop it all?
Can I hoop? Yeah. That's what I used to hoop more until I had to lock in on football hooping. That was the thing where it was like, yeah, let's go in the backyard, let's hoop. Nobody was asking about let's go play football to settle it. Nah, we got to go hoop. So that was our thing.
I don't get to talk to the football players as much, but the baseball players, they're not. I don't know if you heard the story, but one of our star pitchers last year, he tore his ACL in a pickup basketball game, so they ain't allowed to hit the basketball court no more.
Dang. Nah, yeah, that definitely happens because I think this was a while ago, probably before my junior year. I ended up like fracturing my pinky toe playing basketball. So yeah, during the season I don't hoop that much anymore. It's probably why I put the basketball down. It get too intense.
Yeah, man. Hey, we can't be losing you out there on the football field. But before we get into all things LSU, all things football, man, I wanted to talk to you about your faith, and I wanted to know, like, obviously we're seeing all the things that are happening now, but man, when did the change? When did you surrender your life to Christ? Like, when did that change happen for you?
It was actually very recently, like probably within the past 2 or 3 months. I remember before I got to LSU. I was definitely on that journey, especially with my move to my high school, which was a Christian school. It's like a little background. I didn't grow up in the church or anything like that. Like my father, he would teach me things, but he would never quote scripture. So it was always just like, son, do this, do this. Like I got this from the Bible, and it'll be like, okay, that's good information. So like growing up, it was more of an interest. Then I got to the private school, Christian school, started to learn about, prayer, community, things of that nature. But it never was like, yeah, this is my life. But then I got to LSU and it was like, okay, a completely different environment. Like you got to cling on to something because in this new environment, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know where you want to go. Like you're starting to get a little older. It's not just playing games anymore. Like we got a trajectory, where we aiming. So I decided like, okay, let me open my Bible. I was encouraged by people when I got here. I had a chance to do that. And then I actually went home and it was kind of just like this tension between, am I all in or am I with the world? And so, man, because I was starting to open up my Bible more, because I was starting to pursue the Father more, it was like my convictions were way stronger for things when I was younger. It was like I'll be fine with doing, whether it be hanging out with friends, doing certain things, just being in certain environments. Like I just couldn't do that anymore. It was a heaviness on my heart. So then I came back and it was like a moment like where it's like you got to make a choice because this path, like I can tell, I have a pretty strong feeling where this leads, and it's not nowhere you want to be. Like honestly, it leads to nothing. So I just was like, I prayed about it, and it was the spirit that got me rolling, and now it's like each and every day I pray, I read, I do these things because the Lord, what I've learned in this past time, is the highest calling for any man. So I want to pursue that. I know it has the highest reward. I know it'll be the best things for my neighbors and for the Father. So I guess just
and,
have to
and
get
it's
back
cool.
home.
It's unique because it used to be more so you got to college and it was just all about wilding out. And now you're seeing people of your generation, man, like they're going and they're changing their life for the better when they go to college, and you love to see it.
Yeah.
Um, you know, uh, you talked about that foundation, though. I feel like all those things that you mentioned obviously were laid, and they're things that you remembered. Like you talk about things you taught, and maybe you didn't appreciate them then, but I feel like those things are definitely important. But because it obviously led to the talent show, and I watched the Access the Walk interview, man, and I thought the whole thing was cool. Like for those who didn't maybe hear that interview, how did it come about that at a talent show you ended up preaching the gospel?
Yeah, man. It was again just being on that path and just seeking the Lord. And so I got to a point where it's like, okay, guys, they're all gonna have a freshman talent show, like new incoming player talent show. You gotta do something. And they just left us. And so I'm thinking for like a couple of days, like, what should I do? And like my first couple of thoughts were like just like regular stuff. Like I thought maybe I should do something funny. And to be honest, I thought about doing something where it was like show a picture of a player or a coach and like show another funny picture next to them. But then like just the spirit moved within me. I was like, that's not nice at all. Like I don't want to do anything where it's just not kind. So I scratched that. I had an idea about doing something like wrestling or something like that, which was cool. But then I just had a feeling or a thought like if I have an opportunity to speak in front of the entire team, coaches, players, like support staff, like shouldn't I be trying to do something that will leave an impact? Like, because once we don't the talent show, people, okay, he sound cool. Like we just going about our day. Like there's nothing significant about that. So what can I leave with people? And immediately as I got done with that thought, it was like, God, like this is the best gift that anyone could receive. And so I immediately started thinking, okay, how can I do this? Started praying, started researching. I was reading. I was trying to incorporate my reading. And then I thought, okay, I know for me, conviction has been something where growing up, it was like you didn't put a name to it. It's something you're trying to run away from. When you felt bad, when you felt shame, when you felt guilt, you want to run away from that. But as I've grown older, I realized that is a great tool that helps to redirect you. So I was like, okay, I got to make this something convicting, but also something that seems like, okay, we're gonna listen. We like what we're hearing. These are cool things, but then boom, like now that you're this far in, you're caught. Like the conviction comes. So I end up thinking about basically this story where there's a fence, and like the whole story was he sees God, he sees the devil, and he sees a fence right in the middle in between them, and he jumps on the fence because he's thinking, okay, I can on some days when I want to feel good about myself, or I want to feel and have people see me and see like I'm holy, I'm gonna reach out to God. But then on other days when I want to just do what I want to do, I'm gonna reach out to the devil. And I mean, I told that story, and I felt like that was a very relevant story for many of us because on Sundays or on Wednesdays or whenever it may be, or whenever you open up your Bible, whenever you pray, whenever you feel like you really need Him, or whenever you're doing really good, whichever it may be for you, it's like I want God. But then for a bunch of other circumstances, whether it be you party, you drink, whatever it may be for you, it's like I'm reaching out to the devil. So the whole idea was like, man, I want everyone in here because I know everyone struggles in some way. I want y'all to know that it's not something where you can just ride the fence. It's not something where I can just be like this on one day or this on this day. Like I want you to know that this is a definitive choice. And I tried to make it as encouraging, but I also didn't want to run from the conviction. So I got done with that. I'm literally moments before I got up there, I was like, I saw people singing. It was funny. They were singing these songs, random songs, whatever. And for like a couple moments, I was like, man, should I like change this? Because I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm out of place. Like this isn't the place or the time. And immediately I knew that was the enemy because I mean, I got the word of God presented as a gift for people here. And so, man, when that moment came, I was like, you know what? I'm standing up with a fire in me. I'm ready to step up here. Like I want the enemy to know, like, you cannot stop this. The Lord is unstoppable. So prayed. And then once I got up there, the spirit just took over entirely. And then we got
And
the
I'm sure your
result of that.
teammates can appreciate the realness and all of it, right? Like you could have done all the other stuff, but man, you brought, like you said, something that you felt was a gift to them, and there's no way that they didn't feel the power of what you're saying. My question for you is, obviously you knew they were going to hear it, but did you expect that video to surface around and everybody get to hear it?
No, I did not. Literally, my plan was to go in there and to see if I could provide something for the people in there. to be honest, the person that recorded it literally came up to me probably 3 days after. I had no idea, and it was like, I recorded that video, and I think a teammate of mine was like, maybe you should ask like the recording staff and if they have a video. And I was like, you know what, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll go ask. And I never got around to asking. And then one of my teammates walked to me and was like, I recorded that. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, let me see it. I watched it and I was like, you know what? Maybe if I don't know how many people it resonate with in the room, but I'm gonna see if I upload this. Like, can this resonate with someone else? Well, how can God work? And then I did not expect anything. I posted the video. I come back and it's like it's going a bit viral. And so I'm thinking like, God, man, just you take it all. Like it has nothing to do with me. So I try as best I can to literally divert all the attention from me. It's all God. It's the Spirit. So I had no clue though. That
And
more of
it's
a
awesome.
story.
Right now, like I mentioned the Ohio State thing. You're seeing it on campuses across the country. It's awesome, man. Like because people are all in, man. They're jumping on board. It's one of those things that people like to talk about the negativity in the world. They like to talk about it as a dark world, but man,
Yeah.
I'm seeing the younger generation, not just you. Like I just left church. I was talking about middle school, high school. Like man, God's moving, and I think it's awesome that you were able to use your platform and do that. And I got to ask you, like you're obviously somebody who one of the things that I've dealt with on the show for over 6 years, CJ, talking to a lot of athletes who they've struggled because they put their identity in being an athlete first
Yeah.
and not a child of God. And it seems like you are not doing that. So how much does it help you as a football player, be able to play freely because you don't put so much pressure on yourself because God's in control?
Yeah, I mean that was something I struggled with growing up as well. Like once you spend so much time and you so much energy, like it's hard not to have this be, the determinant of your day or your feelings and things of that nature. But kind of something that we talk about in our Bible studies and something I've just been reading about is just like the peace and the joy of God. And for me, in my studies, I've just understood that it's something that's not dependent upon circumstances, not dependent upon anything that you find in this world. It's dependent upon the Lord, and the Lord does not change. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So the fact that I can put my identity, put my faith, put my strength and the way I feel into something that is unchanging, is unmoving, is a firm foundation has been a difference for me that I cannot explain, because whether or not I have a good practice or a bad practice, whether or not I think I could have done this better or that better, I know that the Lord is my rock, and that does not change at all. So the standard that I'm reaching for in terms of that, and then everything else I operate in, trickling down from that, is unchanging. So it's much more. It's less stressful when you know that this is the goal and it doesn't change in our world where things move this way and that way. And somebody might like you because you made a good play and hate you tomorrow. So God is that firm foundation. And for me, going towards that has been the difference maker. Like I can play for free because the battle is already the war. The battle has been won already.
And that's the whole purpose behind these shirts is letting people
Yeah.
know that. But last question I got for you, and we'll get into all things LSU. I got to know, kid from Nashville, why was LSU the destination for you?
Yeah. There's actually a bunch of different things, but one of the I wouldn't say biggest things, but one of the first things that got me interested in LSU was my father is from New Orleans. So we grew up LSU. I say we again, I didn't watch too much football growing up, but grew up LSU household where if we ever turn on a game, it would be LSU. I remember watching the 2019 LSU national championship. It was the first time I like really watched a football game, and it was on a school night, and we stayed up and they won. I saw how proud and happy my dad was. I was like, that's a cool team. They got some guys on there that are really cool, dancing and all that.
CJ, the
And
only time I've ever been nervous, is Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase interview. Other than that, I've been good to go. But that day, I was sweating.
man, what? I mean, look what they was doing. That's really cool. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's fair. I mean, they did some really, really awesome things, but it was God, man. But yeah, like growing up watching them, really it was Joe. And these are the only players that I really remember besides Derek Stingley. It was Joe, Jamar, and Justin. As a young kid, didn't know nothing about LSU, but I knew them three names. So I feel you on that, man. It
I
was some
mean,
big
hey,
time
they
players.
made football look fun, didn't they?
Man, they made it look awesome. Like, dang, I could be doing this. Like, man, look at the legacy they're building. I'm a young kid. I'm knowing what legacy is. Like, what do I know about that? But seeing them play, man, it was kind of like, yeah, this is what it is. So, yeah. So, I mean, that was a big part of it. And then as I got older and I got into getting recruited, it was kind of like, okay, now I'm starting to look for things that, for me, I was a big guy, like in school. I stayed on top of my grades, so I was looking for a school that was, had a good education. I was looking for connections. Like when I was getting recruited, I was looking for alumni. I was looking for just opportunities to find experience and internships. So like I was searching all types of things, and at that point, it was like, okay, I'm not an LSU fan anymore. Like, I got to actually look at this school as a place I could go. So, I mean, I placed some things up to the test and it lined up. And then when I came down here on a visit, I remember Coach Frank. He said, "Your dad's from here." He coached my dad, I think, in football when he was here. So it was just a crazy connection, Coach Frank and my dad. And he showed me a video that was for Louisiana natives, and he was like, "We're gonna treat you like one because your father." And man, everything just clicked. And I prayed about it too because I really didn't know. It was between At that point, it was between LSU and Stanford, believe it or not. And I was like, Lord, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just give this to you. I don't know where I'm gonna go for the next 3 to 4 years. I had talks with people that I trusted and loved, and it was like, He gonna bring you where you need to be. And then prayed about it, thought about it, and all those things that I'm lining up. And here I am, man. Couldn't be happier.
So school is obviously a big thing to you, like you said. So what are you studying?
I'm studying entrepreneurship here. But the thing is, I really, really love I love science. I love uh physics. I love all those things. But for me, I've always wanted to start a business. I never wanted to work for somebody in the sense of like a 9 to 5. So like I could be doing like engineering or something right now that I would really enjoy, but the objective was to build a business. And then as I've gotten older and now I've been growing in my faith is to get an opportunity to, build something up and then go out around the world and spread the goodness of God. So however that is for entrepreneurship, it felt like the most freedom to do that, but I really did enjoy other stuff too. But
Our
here
business
we
school,
are.
right?
Yeah.
So from Nashville to Baton Rouge, I'm sure, was there any kind of like culture shock whenever you moved?
Um. Nah, because I mean Baton Rouge is a little different. I'm more accustomed to New Orleans because I got my uncles, my cousins all from New Orleans, so it was kind of what I was expecting. And Baton Rouge is honestly like more tamer. I don't know if that's a proper way to use that word. It's more tame than Baton Rouge because in New Orleans, man, they got the accent, they got the way they operate, the food, the whatever that place is that they tell you not to go downtown, whatever. Like they got all that. My family members kind of growing up is just like this is what I'm used to. So getting down here was kind of like, dang, I was expecting a little more. It's far calmer than I thought.
So what has been your favorite thing that you've eaten in Louisiana so far?
The problem is a big thing down here is seafood, and I do not like seafood at all. So that's like wiped my palate completely. But um, something that's like Louisiana native, probably it wasn't here, but I really love red beans. It's so simple. Like you get some good red beans and maybe like some Hawaiian bread, like that alone is really, really good. And I think we like in our pregame meals, we for some reason before our game we eat the best food. I don't know if that's the best for us, but the food be so good. We have red beans and like some spaghetti and stuff like that. But some good red beans is good enough for me in terms of just Louisiana food.
So Braden talked about it a little bit whenever we had him on the show a couple days ago ish.
Yeah,
What's it like the first time you ran out of the tunnel?
man, it was awesome. So I want to say period, not but. It was awesome. Period. Also, I the thoughts that I would have running out of the tunnel was like before the game. And it's kind of part of my pregame routine. I don't know if this would be a question, but I listen to worship music. I try to get my mind around that idea of like Jesus won. Like so, no matter what happens out here, no matter how people booing or cheering or whatever, like God. So when I run out the tunnel, it's like it's a beautiful thing. I love to see the people come together, but at the end of the day, I don't want this to get too big to where I'm making this bigger than God. So it was a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful opportunity. Like I would love for people to be able to experience that, but at the same time, like anybody can experience the goodness of God. And so I don't know if that sounds like I'm making a cliche, but genuinely, when I go out there, I try to focus because you never know what's gonna happen. They might love you once you get out that tunnel. They might hate you. So I try to stay stable, calm if I can. So it's awesome, but man, God is more awesome. I can't say it enough.
So Saturday Night in Death Valley is, like everyone says, second to none. What's it like that first time that you were in the game and the crowd was, I'm sure, going crazy?
Yeah, man, it's kind of like it's funny because they talk about like the stadium post for the NCAA game. Then my first time was going to Clemson. That was my first game, And man, the stadium was like, it hurt my ears. This is the first time, so I didn't know what to expect. That was kind of the first thing I noticed was like, before I even got an opportunity to go on the field, like, it's loud, like it hurts. And so, man, that big old environment is like, it's crazy. But I don't know if this is like a common experience, but once you get out there and you get an opportunity to hit, like for me, like on kickoff and kickoff return, the opportunities that I get, once you get out there, like the noise is kind of like, it's really background sounds, like, because then once you get into the game, it's kind of like you integrate with the atmosphere. Like it's a very interesting experience. It's not scary, maybe like how they say, especially going to like we've been to Ole Miss now recently too, and like it just becomes a part of the noise. But it's
Yeah,
so cool
we
to
got to do
hear.
better at Death Valley because I've been to all our home games, and CJ, we ain't got as loud as I've heard before. We got
That's
to
what I'm
we got to do
saying. Like
better right
people
here.
say, like, "Oh, it's Death Valley." I don't think we've had that opportunity yet. I think that it comes. So I don't want to speak too soon, but it hasn't been anything where it's like, "Whoa, like this is unimaginable." It's been like, "Okay, I can handle this." So either I'm just wow, or like we haven't had anything
No,
yet.
it hadn't been there yet. I can't say why. I don't have a reason why. And your coach even said something, after the Louisiana Tech game going into the Florida game. But I don't know. We got to get there. I'll be there for the South Carolina game. Hopefully that's when we'll break it open.
Yeah.
I hope so. I was like, if USC doesn't break it open, I think A&M will, personally.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
She's got some personal ill will towards to A&M. She had to be on the
Listen,
she had to be on the field last year.
I refuse to whoop. So, freshman season, what have you felt is the most important thing you've learned so far?
Um, honestly, there's a lot of things, but I feel like the first thing that comes to mind is patience, which is probably a common answer, but I mean, a lot of my answers can can go back to God, but the idea that you're patient for a reason, because I feel like if you're doing it from a place with no faith, which everyone's journey is different, but it's making it harder on yourself because why am I being patient? Nothing is guaranteed. Like I can go out there and if I'm being patient just to play football or just to get my opportunity, like I can get injured any day or something might not go my way. And then now I've been patient for what? Like that's gonna really crush your spirit. So the idea that I'm being patient for the will of God, so whether it be me go out there and play or I don't play, like whatever it is, like I'm waiting for something bigger has been the biggest thing I've been learning because it gets hard. Like you really do get caught up, like I said, because you put so much time and energy and effort and just so much into playing your sport that like when you don't get the result that you want from your sport, it could really change the way that you just feel and operate. So for me, it's like you got to detach almost a little bit and make sure that the main thing stays the main thing. So patience has been the biggest thing, but not only just patience, patience in the Lord.
So, it's a tough topic for fans, and I'm sure y'all right now. We just took a tough loss at Ole Miss. So, how do we
Yeah.
take advantage of this bye week and come back and take care of business versus South Carolina?
Oh, we definitely have what it takes for sure. Like there's no doubt about that. We just need to play. This is the way Coach Kelly says is play complementary football. But the idea of that, man, if the defense is balling, the offense got to come out there firing too. But in the same vein, like if the offense is stepping it up, the defense got to be maintained, and defense still got to be making plays. So for us, it's kind of just bringing it all together. Like we have what it takes at a certain point, but now we need to bring it all together, have what it takes on all levels. So yeah, it's no worry at all when it comes to that. I feel like that was an opportunity for us to learn. Like it's very important that we do bring this together. But I firmly believe, especially with how our practices have been going on, the things that we've been seeing on film. Like once we bring those two sides of the ball, three sides, special teams, then we'll be on track.
Yeah, I
No
feel
doubt
like
about it.
I mean, would this be a good analysis, CJ? I'm just keeping it real as a LSU fan. I feel like even in the wins, like if you go back to Clemson, even, but like I feel like and even Florida, like there hasn't been 4 quarters put together yet this season. Like
Yeah.
to your point on complimentary, like it feels like we haven't put a full 4 quarters together in a game, and I think once we get there, it can beat anybody, obviously.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll definitely say like there's stuff being left on the table. Like we've shown things, but there's definitely so much more left out there. Even in our victories, like we can analyze those and say like, man, we had these opportunities to where we're taking it to another level. So it's definitely a lot left on the table for us, but that just means we got more work and more things to do. Or our
Well,
defensive coordinator, Coach Blake Baker, he said to us once, potential just means you ain't done nothing yet. So we can sit here and talk about potential here and potential there, but at the end of the day, we got to get to work and make sure that this shows up. Because man,
I feel
nobody
like
wants to talk or
the
hear
bye week
that.
came at a good time, and then the way the schedule lays out, more than enough opportunity with a bunch of ranked teams to prove, and obviously the path to the playoffs is still wide open. So it's better to, you know how it is, better to get the loss out the way early, go ahead and get it over
Yeah.
with, make your adjustments, and just get better from there. But before we let you out of here, man, we play a game called This or That with every guest. You down to play?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so very simple. I'll give you two options. You choose one or the other. Just can't say both, can't say neither. First one, very simple: coffee or energy drink.
Those are both terrible. I don't drink either, but if I
You
had
don't
to
drink
drink one,
either. Go on water. Go on water.
I'd say coffee. Honestly, I don't know what they be putting in the energy drinks these days, man.
All right, pancakes or waffles.
Waffles for sure.
All right, if you're gonna hang out with the boys, would you rather go bowling or go golfing?
Bowling. I don't know. I got to get good at golfing. I'm not there yet.
I don't know if I'll ever be there, but apparently I need to because everybody likes to. All right, so you said the Louisiana food, you're used to it. You've been there plenty. If you had to overall, what's got better food, Nashville or Louisiana?
Ooh, well, for me, if I like seafood, I would say Louisiana, but that's just I'm missing so much without seafood. So I'm gonna say Nashville. Shout out to my got the Tennessee
As long as you know,
back here.
as long as you know, as a Memphis native, y'all can't mess with our barbecue. Like Nashville always try to say they got good barbecue. Y'all ain't got
No,
it like the West Side
I
state.
actually I will agree with you. I don't know about the barbecuing, but like that, man. What do we? I don't even know what our thing is besides hot chicken. So
Chicken's what I always hear.
hear.
All right. This is a good question, man. Would you rather, or what do you use more, physical Bible or your Bible app on your phone?
Physical as of recently, I
There you
really
go.
enjoyed that. Yeah.
My wife was explaining to the students recently. They were like, "But we can just pull it up on our phone," and she's explaining it's just something about opening up the physical Bible that's just more powerful.
Yeah, it really is. It's a difference. Everything on the phone nowadays, so I feel like it's like losing value. It's so common. When you open that book, you got to put in effort to pick it up and open it and do whatever you do and highlight. Like it is different.
So sticking with that theme, you a New Testament guy or Old Testament guy?
Ooh, I've been reading both recently, but honestly, New Testament. New Testament. I mean, we got Jesus Christ. I'm just that take the cake,
Yeah,
but like
I've
the
heard
books
of him.
with the Paul. We about to say?
I said, "Oh yeah, I've heard of him."
Yeah, that guy, he's one of a kind. I don't know if I can call him guy at this point, but man, you got that, and then like the letters that come after, man, they're very relevant nowadays. If you actually take a look and open and like read them for yourself, like they got a lot of themes that you'll see going on in our world nowadays. You be like, dang, they had this going on back 2,000 years ago, however long ago. Like it's awesome, but they're both good books. I think you should read both.
No doubt. All right, fun one for you. What's the better color, purple or gold?
Purple or gold? Ooh, actually, nah, that ain't hard. Purple. It's something about purple. Gold is gold's been doing his thing for a while. I think purple has its own little pizzazz to it.
All right, so let's say you can go to any concert or any sporting event anywhere. What are you going to? The concert or the sporting event?
Ooh, actually the sporting event. I haven't been many concerts and I never really wanted to go. So maybe I'm missing out on something there. But if I had to choose right now, I would say the sporting event.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Look, you go to some of these worship concerts and be in a place where there's 40,000 people worshiping once, it'll give you chills like you ain't never felt before.
I will say I don't know if I want to count this as a concert, but I've been to Passion. I went to Passion last year. That was an amazing experience. In the I think it was in the Atlanta Hawks with State Farm Arena.
Mm-hmm.
And it was packed. So honestly, you might be right. I'm gonna still choose the sporting event just because.
What's the sporting event? I'm curious. If you could go to any sporting event, what is it?
Honestly, right now, I want to go to a UFC fight. Like I don't know what it is recently. Like I've been just kind of like a side note, but I practiced jujitsu probably earlier in the year, and I just fell in love with it. So like it's just a whole nother level of viewing now
We've
when I
had
watch
that answer
UFC.
quite a few times. Sitting ringside at a UFC fight would be legit.
Man, what?
All right, last one, the hardest one. There's not a good answer. I'm going to tell you straight up, CJ, on this. If you could choose between 5 years in prison or 10 years in a coma, what are you taking?
5 years in prison, 10 years in a coma. I think that's. I mean, I'm not like happy like 10 years in a coma, but I always imagine like if you had to be in a coma, like what would you be dreaming? Like 5 years in prison, you got to do something to get in there 5 years. Like that's gonna be.
I always tell people the problem for me is twofold. One, if I'm your age, man, I'm all of a sudden I'm waking up and I'm almost pushing 30. Like that stinks. And then your family having to watch you be in a coma. But it's funny because I said that to Braden and he said my family having to watch me go through prison ain't fun
Prison
either.
for 5 years. You gonna get out in 5 years. You've been in prison in coma. Okay, we can wake up and probably be on track. After 5 years in prison, you both not gonna come out the same person.
I feel
Okay.
that.
I don't know.
So before we close this out, is there anything that you want to plug or promote?
Plug and promote. My Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, can't say it enough. I don't really have anything right now. I'm a little youngin'. I don't got no promotions or anything, but shout out God,
make
man.
sure
Give him a
those that
10.
are watching the LSU athletes, LSU FCA going down on Monday nights, get people like CJ giving their testimony.
Oh yeah, y'all shout out FCA. Come 8 o'clock on Monday.
Hey, but we got to get the baseball players to be there. They're not showing up. They need to do better.
I know. I was actually watching CJ's video and I was like, I'm not seeing any of baseball there. I was like, huh.
She told me they've been slacking.
Okay, to be fair, a lot of football isn't there either, so I honestly got to work on that too. But it's a process.
CJ, we'd like to thank you for joining us. If you like CJ's story and you love the purple and gold, please make sure to like and share on Facebook, retweet us on X, like and subscribe on YouTube, and give us a follow on Instagram. We'll be back next week, and if I remember correctly, we have Derek Curiel, so make sure to stay tuned. Until then, love purple and live gold.